Yes, it is.
When you put news in your name and then you're nothing but a spin job, it's false advertising. You can't do that on a label in a store.
That's true. And the other thing is, it should also be, he should be maybe on Trump TV, which I'm sure is coming as well. That sort of thing. So sorry, go ahead.
No. I mean, I would say the same of MSNBC, by the way. I think they're awful.
You know what, though? I never really watch MSNBC. I never watch Fox News. In fact, I really don't watch CNN anymore. I read the newspaper because then you can make your own mind up because the voice in your head is yours. It's not someone else.
CNN's really gone left quickly recently. I always like to watch all three of them, and then somewhere between all three of them you triangulate and you might find something near the truth. But you really have to go out of the country to get news. Or PBS isn't bad.
PBS is okay. Or BBC. I'm biased, but I watch BBC World News or BBC News 24.
But they talk with that weird accent.
That horrible accent? Yes, I know that it doesn't get me anywhere in life.
Well, and they spell all the words wrong. So.
Well, it doesn't actually help me improve my golf game. We've spoken about that a couple of times, but at least when I'm going to bring up something that I feel ashamed about, Mike, which was when we were in Thailand once. For the listeners out there, and by the way, Mike, you should know there's quite a few now. There's at least 3 of them. You got really sick. I was at the hotel. We were at the same hotel in Bangkok, which was a very nice hotel, I might add. And I'm trying to remember the whole story, but we're only supposed to be there for like 2 days. We're actually playing a bit of golf as well, and you ended up getting sick, right? Or would you get sick immediately? I'm trying to remember what you did. I'm trying to remember what happened.
I got sick immediately. We flew, if you remember, we flew through Tokyo. There was an earthquake.
Let's absolutely. Let's talk about that. That was, I don't know, I'm sure people who are listening have been in, some people have been in earthquakes, but we were at the airport.
Yeah.
And everybody suddenly went quiet.
Yeah, the airport's on skids there. So we just rocked back and forth. It was really strange, but I got so sick. I think it was on that flight, and when I got to Thailand, over 3 days, I thought I was going to die, and I felt so bad it was okay. I mean, I got so desperate. I remember I called the doctor, and that person came in. It was like a witch doctor, and he shot me in the butt with something. And
did it help? I'm trying to remember now.
Well, I mean, I eventually recovered. We were supposed to go to Korea.
I know.
We didn't go anywhere.
We didn't. But I was happy to stay around in Thailand, man. It was all right. I told everybody had to change the flights, but hey, at least Mike would have someone to accompany his coffin. So
collect the body.
Yeah, collect the body and identify it. Because, but I have to admit, looking back on it, it's a few years ago now, I hadn't quite realized you were that sick. I don't think. I mean, honestly, I was like, I really didn't. You realize you were that sick, man. I really didn't know that you were ill like that. I do remember you because you got up for breakfast one day, and then disappeared. Because I kept saying to you, "Well, can't we go somewhere?" And I remember the story. Weren't you sweating so much they had to change the sheets like twice a day?
They had 2-3 times a day.
But do you ever figure out what was it? Food poisoning? You got on the plane then? Was that what it was?
No, it was definitely a flu.
Oh, it was a flu.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I didn't get it. But there's nothing worse. We should talk about this at some point. Let's do it now. But there's nothing worse than being sick on a plane.
Yeah. Well, I think you were in first class. I was in coach most of those flights. So I was probably different.
I'm trying to remember that Korea to Tokyo, wherever it was, Tokyo to friggin', I don't know, man. I may have been in coach. I don't remember. But but even I don't care what class of plane you're in or section you're in. If you're sick on a plane, there's nowhere to go. You're just sick on a plane, and I've had it happen. Not that lot, but at least 2 or 3 times, and your ears are about to explode from the pressure.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awful. Have you been sick on a plane more than that one time?
Well, I wasn't sick on the plane. I didn't get sick till we got.
Okay, all right. I remember once I was sick on a plane, and I was in first class. There's one guy sitting next to me. It was just a domestic flight, American Airlines. And I got to tell you, man, the most disgusting stuff was coming out of my nose. And every time every time I sneezed or blew my nose, and I had to use one of their napkins to do it, the guy next to me would very surreptitiously take his magazine and cover his face in it. Mind you, that's not quite as bad as the guy that lent me his phone once to take a picture, and he had forgotten to delete all the pornographic photos that were on the phone that he had taken of his girlfriend. And he didn't bat an eyelid. He just went, "Oh, I'm sorry about that," and handed me the phone back. Anyway, I forget what I was taking a picture of, but it certainly wasn't as interesting the ones that he had on the plane, on his phone, I should say, because that was quite pornographic. Anyway, yes, so again, Mike, I apologize. I'm sorry. I don't know what else I could have done, though, right? I mean, I stuck around. I was there. I had nothing to do for 5 days, but what else can you do, right? I mean, I apologize for that, just so you know. You really were that sick. I do remember. He did look like crap. I do remember that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry in advance. Okay. So, all right. So what else is on your mind this week? Anything else?
Well, the Brexit stuff.
Oh, yeah. The Guardian newspaper, which is, for those that don't know, is a leftist newspaper in the UK, is freaking out because it thinks that we shouldn't leave. And it's saying that we should have another vote. And my argument there is, wait a minute. If we'd stayed, you wouldn't be saying have a vote to leave. Just because it was 52-48. Yeah. So, I don't know. Hey, do you know much about Theresa May, our new Prime Minister, by the way?
No, just a little. I mean, I obviously see she's backpedaling a little bit and things. The thing that I thought was interesting was Holland from France saying that Britain should still take all of the Calais refugees and the immigrants. That it was part of the reason they voted for Brexit. So it's kind of...
Well, the thing that gets me, Mike, is... You're in France. Why do you want to risk your life crossing the channel? I don't understand it. You're already in France. You're there. You're done. They will give you asylum.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of, they think English is maybe a better language for them, and that they'll have maybe there's better economic opportunity. But I've never really heard anyone ask, "You're already here. Why do you feel you have to go to the UK?"
Probably better food.
Well, true. Now I know you're making fun, actually, because we like spotted dick, toad in the hole, and dead fly pudding. All those things are true. Those are all real. But I actually do like... Actually, I think English food is... The food in London is actually, for those that don't know, is actually friggin' fantastic.
I think the weird part is you chase all of those things here in the U.S.
I do. Oh, thank you very much. I got the subtle innuendo there, and we're going to get down in the gutter here pretty quick. Well, anything else on your mind? You made it through the hurricane okay, right? Just to clarify that.
Absolutely. The other thing, go Cubs. They're down 3-1.
Oh, they're playing as we're recording this, aren't they?
Yeah.
But why are you favoring them? Any reason in particular?
No, just lovable losers. 100 years or more not winning. But I mean, Cleveland's 70 years without winning, so it's not bad.
Yeah, but it's not like the Houston Astros have ever won it, have they? I mean, there's a lot of teams out there probably have never won it at all.
I don't know. Maybe it's possible.
Yeah,
I think most of them have at some point, but you may be right.
So before we sign off, what do you think is going to happen this week? Do you think this thing with the FBI is going to get blown out of proportion, or it's going to affect Hillary? Is poll standing? What do you think? Do you think Trump's going to win now?
I do not think Trump's going to win. But if Comey doesn't come out with something, I think this is going to be extremely odd, because that's the only thing that makes sense is if there was something to come out with. But I think other interesting thing is, what is it, Assange with WikiLeaks? Isn't he in like the Ecuadorian?
Yes, he is. In London. Is it the Ecuadorian embassy in London? Yeah.
Did you know they cut off his internet?
Yeah, I did. Hey, payback's a bitch, huh?
I thought that was...
I did too. It's like, that is so friggin' funny that they cut off his internet because they were embarrassed. I'm sure the State Department finally said, we've had enough of this guy.
Absolutely.
And they went to the Ecuadorian government and said, hey, if you don't fix this, here's what's going to happen. No, I'm serious. Don't you think that was the conversation?
Absolutely.
God.
But I just thought it was hysterical that they cut off his internet.
I mean, think of that. Could you imagine being stuck? I'm sure it's a fairly nice embassy. I don't know, but I'm sure it's not a rat hole.
Yeah.
But, could you imagine being in there? He's been in there 3 years, right? Longer?
Yeah.
God. I mean, he could be there for 10, 20. At some point, the man has to leave.
Yeah, he should just plead guilty for the Swedish charges.
He could have been out.
And serve it at the Ecuador.
Exactly. Time served.
Time served.
Exactly. I've already done it, Your Honor. Time served. Dear, oh dear. So
and no internet.
Yeah, no internet. Exactly. So I'm looking forward to next week because thank God this election is going to be over. Mike, I got to tell you, it's gone on way too long. I mean, I feel it's given me a headache. It's like nothing good's coming out of it. That's what worries me.
Yeah.
And God, oh man, I voted, by the way. Oh, I forgot to tell you before we go. I did vote.
I'm shocked they let you vote with that accent.
I voted early, and there was a long because I'd heard that there were long lines even for early voting here in Austin. And William voted. My son, for those that don't know, voted for the first time.
That's fantastic.
And he said to me, "Dad, what should I vote?" No, he didn't say that. But some of the propositions he did, I don't understand, Dad. What's a proposition? What is a bond? What? I said, it doesn't matter, William. Just vote yes. Okay, we need the money.
Yeah, I remember when you did a proposition. I think it was in France.
Oh, please, let's save that for another time, okay? Or maybe it was Thailand and they turned out to be a man. I don't remember.
That's right, in the elevator. Do you remember the guy was with?
Yeah, there were two French guys, yeah. And they didn't speak a word of English, yeah.
They thought the person they were with was a woman and it was a man.
Yeah, well, we'll save that story for next time. But yes. She did give us the biggest wink, though, as I recall.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that, the wink?
I remember the wink and I remember what you said, but we'll save that for the next time.
All right, man. Well, listen, it was great talking to you as usual.
All right.
And speak to you soon.
All right, take care, man.
Thanks for listening to this installment of The Dangerous Mind of Max Miller. Tune in next time for more groundbreaking thoughts, earth-shaking insights, and astounding tales of intrigue right here on The Dangerous Mind of Max Miller.